And then
Yeah.
I went through high school at the Catholic school, and all that, and
Hmm.
and then I was very influenced by a wonderful priest, Father John Newstead, who was my English teacher, and he was a very faithful priest. And
Is
so
this in high school?
in high school, yeah, and
Okay.
I got me interested in English. So when I went on to the seminary, I also did an MA in English, and I love English literature. But also, he was just very faithful. He had been sick when he was a young boy, and he felt very lonely in the hospital when he was there. So he appreciated when people visited. So for the rest of his life, every afternoon he would go to the hospital and visit people and just, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Nothing kind of profound, but just really important. And I thought that's really wonderful that he would do that every day. And so when I was about grade 11 or 12, he said, Tom, you should think about becoming a priest. And I had been thinking about it, and I realized that the priest would always take me down to ordinations and chrism masses and things like that. So
Yeah,
hint,
yeah.
hint, hint, hint. But
Well, tell me a little bit about that. I'm always very fascinated by those who become ordained,
right,
like those early inklings. So around
yeah.
grade 11, you have your teachers suggesting that, but you just said that you had already been thinking about that.
Oh
Like,
yes, I
what
thought
did
about
that
it.
look like for you, and at what age did that kind of begin for you?
Well, I was very young. I mean, I was an altar boy when I was in elementary school and then in high school.
Hmm.
I would give people tours around the church when I was in high school, when I was in university a bit later. Um,
Yeah.
and so I really I thought about it a lot because I just felt called to that because it wasn't something spectacular like a big flash of light or anything, but I just kept constantly thinking about it because I was very much
Mm.
touched by the example of the priests, all the Father Newstead, of course, but also all the priests were really wonderful. I mean, they were very faithful, and my father too, and my father and mother
Mm.
both practicing Catholics, but especially my father. He would take me up to the church when I was a little tiny little boy for the Nocturnal Adoration Society, Eucharistic Adoration, and so I
Hmm.
would just see my father in prayer, and I thought, wow, that's something beautiful. And so I just began to get deeper in my heart. But I wasn't able at the end I thought maybe at the end of high school to go to the seminary then, can do university as a seminarian, which is what they do here at Sarah House. But I wasn't able to because my father got sick, and he when I was needed at home to lift him in and out of the wheelchair and things like that. So that was fine. I went over to University of Waterloo, St. Jerome's College. I spent 4 years there doing a degree in philosophy, in history, or in English and philosophy, and a bit of history. But I took the philosophies that I would need in the seminary, so I kind of tried to get ahead of it a bit there. And then
Oh, so at that point you were pretty on that track.
yeah, I was thinking about it very
Okay.
seriously. But
Yeah.
finally, when my father died in 1967, so when I finished university, I went to see Father
Hmm.
Ryan, my pastor, and he took me down to see Bishop Redding, who was the auxiliary bishop at the time, and and he set me up to go to St. Peter's Seminary in London.